Hello everyone and welcome into yet another live stream. Hi there. Hi Adrian, how you doing? How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. That's because... well, I just hope so, but today... hold on. As you can clearly tell, I've once again started unprepared. 79, correct? Yeah. Fantastic. Just uploaded a video why everyone hates Lego and the time there's Lego statue doing Charlie... doing the what? Does everyone hate Lego? I thought Lego was pretty well liked by most people. Alright. That's enough of German YouTube. Enough for one day. That's because I've been building. Well, not building much, it's pretty simple. And the build doesn't really do anything yet. But the point is, I just printed it. I've gone ahead and bloody printed the thing that we now need to assemble because it's not actually assembled yet, as clearly we are missing 4 different corner pieces. That's because I haven't printed them before, but I did print them now. Well, let me play something for myself. Something that'll put me in a manic mood. Okay, I do have one playlist literally for assembling, so I suppose that would be good. Around the channel fan for the 3 million subs. Agent, I am just straight up not familiar. Why did you, if it's not German, why did you say like German Veritasium? You cannot put this miscommunication on me. That is all you. Alright. Now, there's one pickle I have with this design. Surprisingly only one so far, which is something. which is certainly something, normally it would be more than one. And that is the power. That's because right here we have Raspberry Pi pointing at this plate. We can just leave empty. And that will give us access to the Ethernet, to the USBs, and such and such and such. But this right here, the power input, well, that would have to go towards some kind of plate at an angle, and I find that disgusting. So what I imagine we'll do is we'll leave this bottoms empty, and then we will just use that in order to get the USB-C in there to power it. Alright. This one in. It's a German channel run by Germans. There's another guy which does English YouTube. Other than that's so. How much lore is there? So they did collab creating a channel fan on Simple Cinema. That is, Adrian, you lost me. You just lost me too much. You absolutely lost me. Right. Oh, that is proper good so far. So far, it's all proper good. I would really like to move on from the basic setup to... Have you messaged the mighty Theodore Nichols? I still forgot. If I will eventually. Okay, I've been busy. I will eventually. Oh, I could have let an opening for the top of the sky. Oh, whatever. Too late though. Too late now. There we go. And one last. we need to move on to utility by now, because honestly we spend a ridiculous amount of time setting up the basics, and I feel like they're set up properly enough already. The command buffer, we can have it take a bit of a backseat, I suppose, temporarily if we want to implement. We could try to do Vosk with C, that'll be fun. That'll be useful. But then we also need something for it to do to test the utility. Okay. There we go. So the basic idea will be... Trying to make it gets just nickel. This right here is what Fixit 1.0 will look like. And the basic idea is that these corner pieces are for the so we can mount plates on them. Like, for example, if you want to crack, hypothetically, purely hypothetically, obviously, if you want to crack a MIFARE encrypted RFID card, then we could just add a scanner to the side like so. And that would be one of the plates. And these plates can be whatever. They can be this, they can be audio, if we want to. This would actually be pretty neat, you know, because it's actually really neat, because this would allow us to connect jack in there. Adding an audio, Fixit gets a body. Well, you know, I need to run Fixit on something, Adrian. Let's not be preposterous. Like, Fixit will be software first, but you know, in order for that software, I want Fixit to be useful. In order for Fixit to be useful, we need some hardware that will actually do something fun. I can't just Fixit be... I can't just make a bot that I would be talking with, because that would be, honestly, well, a massive red flag, first of all. But second of all, it just wouldn't be useful. It'd be much better if I... No, the MIFARE cracking is just a perfect example, right? We'll make all sorts of these plates, and then we'll see where we go with it. Right here we can do a camera on the side as well. We can do a lot of things. Can't he just build his own body? That would be easier. Well, he needs a body to build his own body. What came first, chicken or the egg? No, it was I. I made the chicken, and then I made the egg. At the same time. Okay. So, back to the old grindstone, eh? Yeah. Oh, why is this a red light? The status on the... I'm sorry, I'm not crazy. Well, I mean, I am, but not in this case. This is red. That should be green. Oh, that should not be red. Hi there, Uncle. How you doing?
You most definitely are slightly crazy.
I am most definitely, yes, but that is a red. I can recognize red. I can recognize that color. I am capable. No, it's running fine. Why is this... Oh, that worries me. Why is it red? I'm scared of changing technology. Oh, by the way, the video. It's going glacially slowly, but I finished the harmonic oscillator.
Nice.
But I'm struggling a bit with how to visualize the generalized case. Because it's gonna be V of X, it's gonna be boring. I think I'm just gonna briefly mention it, not visualizing the thing. It's just that
what you could do is with the other two, I presume you're showing their energy.
Yes. Well, I'm showing the energy of the harmonic oscillator. There wasn't much to show with the free particle. I did do like straight lines, but I didn't show the total energy because we'll be just overlapping with the kinetic.
Of course, the free particle getting the special treatment here. aka no treatment.
Yeah, exactly. Don't call it special treatment, because special treatment makes it sound as if I respected him or something. It was the opposite. I disrespected.
Horrible decision. What you could do is maybe I just show the energy, because usually the potential is entirely determined by its curve.
Yeah, so I'd like a wild graph of the potential. Honestly... Wait, 24 supply. So, is it just gonna glow red? Because that is not great. I don't like the idea of just having a red light. It doesn't get any hotter than normally would. I don't like the idea of just glowing red. Could be the cable. Could be getting too much power. No, it shouldn't.
I was just in a second-hand store looking for some glasses, and I saw this like huge glass, and I thought this is so comical. Who would ever buy this? And then I got reminded by you, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to pull a make it. I'm buying this most ridiculous glass ever. So that's how you, at least today, impacted my life.
Oh, I don't have any comically large glasses on me actually. I had a comically large cup, but I lost it.
I will send a picture later today. I need to wash it, and then I'm going to drink water from it.
I am curious
It's
and would like to see
so
it.
fucking huge.
Just painted green, everything's fine again. Why are you stressing? It's you know, fine. Let's just pretend that's green. Also, hold on, because let's also do the animations. For some reason, I am really not worried about the Lagrangian chapters. They just feel fine.
The action chapter is gonna be so shitty.
Not really. It's also, I told you, that's the problem I have with action. I don't understand what's confusing about it.
You know what? I will let you cook, and hopefully I will learn a bit myself from it.
That's not how it should work. That's called disinformation. That's not.
No. I mean, the idea is there for both of us. I just don't see a way to like visually represent it better than we did in stream.
I mean, I'm just going to animate what we talk about in the stream.
Yeah, okay.
I just don't understand why everyone considers it to be so confusing.
Just cook. I've been thinking on the next chapter.
Oh, the next. Oh, I see. That's good. How's it going?
I haven't written anything down in script. I've just been thinking on like the possible ways I could take this.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. How's the thinking going?
The thinking is going. It's going well. It's going towards quantum mechanics. I just need a way to like skip all the vector and matrix formalism. Other than that, it's great.
Do you need to skip it? I don't need to be that guy, but vectors and matrices are absolutely beautiful to visualize. I love
Alright, we are not skipping them, apparently.
No, I'm just saying you don't have to, because if you think about it, first of all, Blender doesn't have complex numbers. It doesn't. Python has complex numbers by default, Blender doesn't. Even C has complex numbers, was something I learned not so long ago. Apparently.
It does.
If I remember correctly, it does. So it doesn't have Blender doesn't have complex numbers, but it does have matrices. You can
that's good.
Convert, transpose. Yeah, you can.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but the slight mess up important bits. I don't know if that will be a problem, but keep in mind these matrices are exclusively 4-dimensional. Vectors.
What do you mean exclusively 4-dimensional?
Like if you make a matrix, combined matrix, then it has to be 4x4 in Blender.
Can we not just like set the outer layers to 0, so it's a 3x3?
I mean, yeah, you can.
But is it visualizable?
I didn't.
Is it only? Why is it only 4x4?
That's because that's how. Basically, if you want to, like, okay, so can you see the stream?
All
right. So transform geometry, right? What it does is you start with something like a cube. You plug it in. I'm working on something completely different right now, but might as well. You start a cube, right? And you can move it left or right. You can move it forwards, backwards, up, down. You can rotate it, or you can scale it on each dimension, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, in order to that's how you can transform it with components. So you move it by XYZ, you rotate it, you scale it, and such and such. But if you're dealing with points on their own, and if you want to calculate this transformation for each point exclusively, which is important for parallelization, so when you want to use a graphics card instead of a CPU, you would rather create some kind of a way to move all of the information about the point. I don't think I'm explaining it well, because basically this makes sense for us intuitively as humans, right? Rotating a shape, scaling it, and such. But what we need with computer science, we need to take a point, we need to take its coordinates, and then we need some kind of method to, independently of the other points in that shape, calculate its new position. And if you want to translate, if you want to rotate, if you want to scale objects, then you need a matrix. That's 4-dimensional. 3-dimensionals don't work. The additional fourth one, there's like one reason, but that was for graphical engines. We're basically, I'm going a little too much of a tangent, aren't I? Doesn't matter. The point is, it's not interesting.
I have good news and I have bad news for you.
What's the good news? What's the bad news?
Well, let me start with the bad news. We are gonna need something other than 4-dimensional matrices. That's the bad news. The good news is you entirely nailed the concept of Lorentz transformations, which is going to be after quantum mechanics to make everything relativistic. You nailed the explanation of that.
When?
Probably unknown to yourself.
Right. I don't think. I feel like I explained it so poorly. You think I?
No. The transformations that are required to like transform a point such that it makes sense within the program, or within computer science, whatever. That is the same kind of reasoning that that like you need some sort of transformation. In this case, also 4D, such that your reference frames make sense, and that's just entirely relativistic. That's the basis for QFT.
Oh wait, hold on. I just messed something up because I wasn't thinking. I still think I explained it so incorrectly you thought I was because what I was thinking about just parallelization and how you want each vertex to be independent. Wait, what matrix? Because you say 4-dimensional won't work. What exact kind do we need?
Well, I would like 2x2.
Because first of all, 2x2. Can't we just the same idea? Can't we just do 0, 0 on the other two?
Yeah.
Well, then
But
first
then
of all,
you need to visualize it.
yeah, but then that's not okay. So when I said that visualizing matrices, I see where the miscommunication happened. When I said that visualizing matrices and linear algebra in general is really nice, and then I said that Blender has matrices implemented in it, those were two separate tangents. Like visualizing a linear algebra. Have you not seen my visualization of the matrices with the vectors?
I did,
Yeah.
but I forgot how you did it.
It's just basic. Well, I mean, you know, if we have a matrix, I can represent the matrix transforms by representing the underlying basis vectors and representing their magnitude, and I can just represent them directly as arrows. So I feel like you don't need to worry in that case. I'll take care of the visualization. you just gotta figure out what to mention.
I trust you on that. In that case, I will add vectors and matrices in my talk, and there will be an example on spin probably.
Oh, good. I am so
Actually, will there be?
I am so excited.
Okay, so no example on spin. Noted.
No, I mean, explain whatever you want. Just that you know what my opinions on spin are.
It's just internal angular momentum. I don't see a problem.
It's not real.
It's real enough if you believe in it.
Brilliant answer. Okay, total energy I was setting to blue. Since when are streams over here? Oh, Timon. Oh, Timon. But yeah, I am streaming here because of what I'm doing on stream, despite the fact that right now I'm working on the physics video, which means I should be streaming on the yellow. But that's only because I was supposed to work on Fix It until Renko joined in.
You know what? You single-handedly changed my day, so this buying record. I single-handedly changed your stream. You're welcome.
Yeah, fair point. X maximum. Maximum from 0 to 1, there we go. Alright.
There was also like these I guess they are like the huge whiskey bottles, but they were in shapes that represented like the lab class, and I was so tempted with the same motivation.
That does sound also tempting. I love, by the way, how in this case I am dropping the ball, and right here I do the total energy is equal to this, despite the fact that in this case the total energy wouldn't be constant because the ball just gave it away.
Friction?
Yeah. But at the same time, it's meant to be generalized, so it makes sense.
You can put the friction into the V, it's fine.
In the script, I did mention that potential would mean gravity, friction, electromagnetism, air resistance, all those things.
Yes.
And after this, by the way, next one is Lagrangian. And generalized coordinates. Do you have any... Oh, I don't remember what I was stuck on. You know what? I'm gonna be working on Fix It in the background as we're talking about physics. My brain will hate me. I will need active cooling in my head for that. But do you have any good ideas for examples on generalized coordinates? Because it's so annoying. That's what I found. Like, normally, I even mentioned the script, that's how I wrote it, where normally in physics is like more intuitive than mathematics, because when you have some kind of mathematical equation in physics, then it's motivated by a real life example, which means that you always have like an example of what you're doing. You don't need to deal with it purely abstractly. But with generalized coordinates, it's genuinely easier to deal with it abstractly than to real example. The pendulum is kind of what I started with, the angle, but then I thought that, okay, hear me out on this, alright? Here's my idea. Are you dead? Because honestly, you made noises as if you were disconnecting. That's what it sounded like.
No. I made noises because you said this funny thing where we are always basing things off of real life. We have real life examples where we can base things off. Yeah, string theory, hooray.
But still, you're not doing string theory for some kind of other universe, right? You're doing it for this one.
Yeah, but we don't have any observations whatsoever.
Yesterday, Katsi invited me to this Discord server, and over there, they were talking about relationships when I joined in, so I just sat there quietly, knowing damn well I had nothing to contribute. But then one of the people mentioned that they were studying physics, and I just got like neuron activation. Oh, what kind? It turns out that they wanted to go more into particle physics, and I spent the entire time joking that at their college, basically, they have particle physics, and then they have theoretical physics. Which I just spent the entire time joking that what's the fucking difference? And no self-respecting particle physicist would ever call themselves practical. That's just...
I mean, yes, they would, but then you're talking to certain people and stuff.
They did bring up LHC. Oh, but the idea I had was, like, imagine a peg with a spring. It's a bit complicated because I specifically wanted something, well, I just want something, and a ball at the end, right? Like this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's say that it spins.
Why? Why would you do such a like? Every first year bachelor students hate you right now.
I know, but the point.
This is the kind of like questions we got when we were doing Newtonian mechanics.
I do.
And we all have traumas.
I love how let's say sprints is so unrelated to the spring. Twist. Subversion of expectations. Basically, the reason why I wanted it to spin is because as it spins, like the ball would move further away, the spring would stretch.
Yes.
And I thought that
sure.
that would be a neat example of generalized coordinates, because then instead of describing it with x and y, it would be, or describing it with x and y, or even with alpha. This is just me thinking. I didn't double check it. That's why I'm running to you right now. But like, you could do it either with Cartesian, you could do it with polar, or alternatively, if I'm not mistaken, the distance of how far the ball will be from the peg depends on the speed at which it rotates. Silence is suffocating.
There was no question in here.
Oh no, well, yeah, so basically like a generalized coordinate. Because then the generalized coordinate would be on the base angle and would be base angle and omega. Wait, omega, right? For speed of angular, well, whatever. It's a Greek term when we're dealing with rotation. Close enough. But the problem is that then we're not reducing the amount of coordinates, which I feel like
Yeah.
is a bit
So what you're doing right now is just a basis coordinate transformation,
I know. But
and
that's
not what it's about.
This is the best example I could come up with, though. Or the best attempt at an example I could come up with.
I guess if you want an example to explain generalized coordinates, you will need a sort of transformation that is, for example, like polar transformation. You go from xy to r theta, and one of these needs to be a constant. So you have a restraint in your system.
In this case, it feels like but okay, so I just need to find the restraint in this case. Because what I'm talking about here is that.
But if there is one restraint, your total number of coordinates will decrease by one.
Shit.
Yeah, because this is like these constraints determine your degrees of freedom.
What if it's spinning at a constant speed? Then we wouldn't have omega.
Well, then you would just have a pendulum.
No, it's rotating. It's totally different. Shut up. It's totally different. No, but the reason why it's different is because in the pendulum, right, we're effectively doing Cartesian to polar, but the distance is frozen. But in this case, you do Cartesian to polar, and that's still not good enough because you still have two coordinates. But if you do polar to just angle on its own. Wait, no, because ideally it would be dependent on rotation, but can't.
Like if you want another example, instead of one pendulum, consider two.
So then we just have two angles for each pendulum.
Yes, instead of 4 coordinates, x, y, and for the first pendulum, and x, y for the second pendulum.
That's actually not bad. That's not bad.
But the point I'm trying
to accent here is that what I want to make everyone watching realize is that generalized coordinates don't have to be like when you tell to a person a coordinate, right? Say the word coordinate, right? What they will imagine is Cartesian or polar. But what I'm trying to convey here is that it's just the minimum amount of variables describing a system. I do believe that's how I described it in the. Let me see. Like that's how I described it in the script. Let me see.
Wait, how did you describe it? Say that again. I have a great example.
Minimum amount of variables we need to describe a system.
Yes, but you need a minimum amount of coordinates. Coordinates because you need their velocities regardless. Even if these velocities vanish, the degrees of freedom is the amount of coordinates, regardless of their velocities. So it like you said something just now where you have this system, but the angle or the length it stretches depends on the velocity of the rotation. Technically, that would reduce like one coordinate, but that also doesn't count. It doesn't. It's not the point of generalized coordinates. But I do have an example.
Other than the two pendulums.
No, no, not two pendulums. Because what we can do is with the pendulum, we keep the radius a constant. But we can also think of a system that keeps the angle constant and that changes the radius.
That would just be a spring.
Yeah,
That's
the
still a
tilt lift.
harmonic oscillator. That's not. No,
I mean,
because you know what? Okay, basically, because I feel like, do you get what I'm saying here? That what I feel like people will be misled about. Do you understand that?
phrase it one more time.
Basically,
Just making sure.
people watching will just think that we're just trying to find like the nicest coordinates to describe it with. But what I need
Yes.
everyone watching to realize is that this is an abstract notion of coordinates, not like spatial coordinates, only abstract coordinates, the variables describing our system. So
Yeah, but they will still be the
ideally-
nicest, hopefully.
Well, hopefully. Ideally, what we would like to do is give an example which we can describe with Cartesian, which we can describe with polar, but we can also describe with something different.
Yeah, but then you need a whole new transformation of your coordinates.
No, we don't. We just give it as an example. That's it. We don't need to do the maths for it. We just need an example.
Okay, let me just give some hyperbolic coordinates. Nobody's gonna fucking know what those are.
But that's the point. So like, damn it, in my head I was just about to be like, oh yeah, so what we need is just like an given example, as if our entire problem isn't the fact that we can't come up with one. Okay, so
Hold on, I can think of something. Sorry. Because I see what you mean now.
yeah, like ideally a really nice thing to do would be three-dimensional Cartesian, then cylindrical, and then maybe to some two other variables, because with just one it feels difficult to reduce. Oh wait, we're idiots!
Yes, next question.
A,
We can actually do cylindrical.
a ball on a parabola.
Yeah, that's one constraint.
Yeah, it's the angle. Well, no, the only our generalized coordinate would be effectively its position on this line. My goodness, that is so much.
Yeah, so you just want.
Okay.
Hold up, let me think about this 1 second. You need to. Well, you put the zero, of course, in the middle, and then you just need your x position, yes. And with the x position, that determines everything. Yes, you are a genius.
You know what's upsetting? Hold on, let me show you something real quick. Remco, here we go.
Bye bye, Adrian.
Alright, see you, Adrian. So sorry we were so preoccupied, but we're working hard and hardly working. I literally did this in the video already. Why didn't I think of a parabola?
I mean, technically, you could do any shape there, as long as it's bijective.
Well, let's pump down on the smart words, alright? I could also say that I want to fix it to be able to crack the MIFARE encryption on an RFID card if I want to, right? But I...
Yeah, no, that makes sense. No, bijective as in for every x you need a separate y. Like it doesn't need to do loop-to-loops because then you can't like uniquely determine where it is.
Yeah. In this case, parabola is the easiest.
Yeah, but you could also do like an exponential or something. It will be like it won't make as much intuitive sense.
I can
But
make it dependent on any function, yes.
because this is what I was thinking about when we were talking about spherical and like when I said hyperbolic, you can just make a map which just takes the exponential of x, and then you also got like that as a generalized coordinate.
But this is good. I mean, you're making me want to work on the video now. Fine. Fine, you've convinced me. You know, we need to describe the system. So, for example, if we go back to our ball on a parabola.
Keep it user friendly though.
A what?
Keep it friendly for the younger public.
Did I say something else, you, or do you are referring to
No.
the script of the video?
I'm making a joke.
Okay, I see. Because this today as well.
You just went to retrace everything you said in the past minute.
Listen, there are certain things I say in my head. There are certain things I say out loud, and whenever I don't understand something, I keep thinking like, did I say something?
There was overlap between the two.
I was supposed to say that. Just oscillating back and forth. In this case, how would... Oh, and so nice because I can also implement the polar coordinates as well to showcase... Oh, this is going to be lovely. How would we describe the position of this ball? Well, we could do it with Cartesian coordinates, like so. But that's complicated. Hold on, because the animation also rendered.
Hello.
Hi.
Guten Tag.
Where are we in the script? The Lagrangian! Oh!
Hey!
We've reached it. It took 5 fucking days to cover Newtonian. Brilliant.
It's a lot. There's actually some things I haven't done with the Lagrange equation yet, with the Lagrangian formalism in its own, and I think I'm gonna start with that next time.
What have you done?
Like for example, when you have when you have a Lagrangian. Actually, the first thing we are going to do is get two variables in the Lagrangian. So an x, for example, an x and a y with their respective coordinates, velocities. But maybe x and y is not the right terminology for this. This is why we use q, because we can just do q1 and q2. Yeah, I'm gonna let everyone suffer and we're going on q next time. We're gonna use q. What we're going to do is, for example, like two separate systems, two pendulums. We could describe their dynamics with the same Lagrangian. The nice thing is we can just add the two Lagrangians of each of them, and then you get a new Lagrangian, just the sum, and that describes the entire systems as well, both of them. That's one thing that's really nice. A second thing, what we could do is, for example, in one of these, if we have two of systems, and if one system doesn't have like the velocity term, the position term in this Lagrangian, then you get conservation of energy, I believe, or momentum actually. You get conservation of momentum. So if I may rephrase that, if you have a Lagrangian with, for example, q and q dot, the velocity of q, and you only have a term that takes into consideration q dot, so the velocity of q, then you automatically get that the momentum is conserved. This is one property, but a strong one. This is also the basis of Noether's law.
What? Hold on.
I think I should explain this at the whiteboard, but I'll do that later because I don't have access to my pen right now.
No, I see. Okay. In that case, I'm just gonna take your word for it.
Yeah, you should. You can immediately get momentum conservation out of the Lagrangian. You can just see the Lagrangian and say, oh, this has momentum conservation, and this
Wait, what?
doesn't.
Hold on, what?
Just order the Lagrange equation, and your derivative with respect to x is 0.
Hold on, because I still have your whiteboard image. Let me. Lagrange. No, I just realized I'm not interested enough to do it. I trust you.
Just, wait, look at your Lagrange equation. Just look at it.
Wait, you say
Go back to it. Go back to it.
Yeah. Lagrangian in
Show it.
change
Yes,
in
there we go.
Lagrangian in relation to the x minus change in Lagrangian.
Yeah, if the first term, the d Lagrangian divided by dx, yeah, if that's 0, then you get something that is conserved in time. You get something with the derivative of time equals 0.
Does that mean no?
Which means it's a constant.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah, and that means because then if it doesn't change of position, that means no potential. Right?
I mean, or the potential only depends on the velocity.
wait, but the
Remco will get back to that. I don't have the strength for it already. Okay.
It's fine. What's up, Timon?
I love how.
that only works if nothing depends on x.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Thanks.
But if stuff depends on x, then momentum doesn't get conserved.
Yeah, that's exactly what it means if it only doesn't depend on x. Yes.
So conservation of momentum isn't real.
No, because we still have the total system. We're not looking at the total system. We're just looking at the momentum of a particle, and if this particle has no x dependence in the Lagrangian, then this particle will have conserved momentum. But by Newton's equations, we also know that if the particle doesn't have constant momentum, then something else also changes momentum so that the overall system has conserved momentum. So that will probably be a second particle which also changes momentum in a way that the total momentum of these two particles is exactly 0. Or the change of the total.
Yeah, but I wanna understand it from the Euler-Lagrange equation because that's what you brought up.
Yes.
But if anything is dependent on x, you already don't have a conserved moment, or the entire system shouldn't depend on x, only parts of the system.
Well, what you're doing is you're giving energy to your potential, or you're taking energy from your potential. So yeah, if there's just one particle in the potential, its momentum is not going to be conserved in a space-dependent potential.
Yeah, that's fair.
Remco, very important question.
Shoot.
I need you to pick a color for the Lagrangian Hamiltonian.
Oh, that's an important question. I was not ready for that one.
Yeah.
I would say the Lagrangian. This is difficult. What is the color?
Color theory, because I use greenish yellow. Hold on. I use greenish yellow for kinetic, and I use pinkish for potential, which means that if we add them together, Hamiltonian could be red and Lagrangian could be blue.
I was thinking of blue for the Lagrangian.
Yeah, so.
But I was also thinking, if the Lagrangian is blue, what must the Hamiltonian be?
Well, red.
And I think red, yes. You know what? This makes perfect sense in my head.
Exactly, it makes sense according to the color theory. Our color theory, drunk.
I think my brain is hard coded on color theory. It's like in there in the algorithm.
We spend a lot of time to come up with it, alright? It better work.
We still need to finish the video on the color theory.
I know! Can you wait, by the way, fun fact, I still have the folder for it on my drive.
Yes,
now
you
and
better
then.
use that video. I put a lot of effort into that.
Every now and then, eventually I'm gonna finish it. It's a couple of things on my agenda first, but I still have it. Where is it? What do I call it? Schizo mathematics.
Oh yeah.
Look at it. Oh, that was a whiteboard. That was certainly a whiteboard.
I love how it's kind of hyperbolic in that the further you go away from the top, the more stacked it becomes. So it's kind of like the Escher painting with the birds or the devils. With your art.
I learned group theory based on this.
Yeah. It's I'm just reading what's up there. What the fuck is this? I can literally see like paths and how was it called again? Cohomology? Like actual topological group theory. I don't
Yeah.
like the look of that.
Yeah. That's because we needed to map we were looking for a map from
Probably from the complex.
Z6 to C1. There we go. Yeah, we have it right here. We were
That's the stupidest map ever because it's not linear independent ever.
yeah, but I mean the stupidest map ever, and we haven't even talked about the constraints we've put on it.
I mean, there needs
to
be four constraints for it to work. Well, let's not get into this right now because we will be spending the rest of the day into this.
That is true. Alright, well in that case, I need to make an environment for the Hamiltonian Lagrangian. Hamlan. Well, it should be just lamb. No, we're not gonna get into the ham. Lack of meat and potatoes. Okay. No, because damn it, I started my assembling playlist because I was gonna work on fix it, but I need to play something different now. Stupendous.
You can actually work on fix it if you want to.
I don't need your permission. I know I can if I want to.
Yeah, but I can like go work on my stuff and not procrastinate. And then we're both productive.
Yeah, it sucks that instead of working on fix it, I'm working on the video. I'm being so unproductive.
Yeah, no, you are productive, but the problem here is very selfish. I also want to be productive.
Then be productive. Well, let me
Yeah, but then I have to leave, and then you lose your motivation for the video, and then you start working on fix it.
Can you not be productive on the voice chat? Are we taking up too much? Hi, the Tefta as well. Oh, Remco, now you're just fucked.
No, I'm
Hello.
leaving too, but I need to be productive, and I just wanted to hop in.
Hey!
Oh, Tefta, wait, because I just need a quick question. Did you join in as a bit, or did you join in genuinely for a second?
As a bit.
Oh, damn it. Because I had a question. Never mind then. Shikes.
Well, I got like 2 minutes.
Okay, basically, alright, then it's not gonna be a question, just an idea what I have. I'm working on Fixit, the AI for me, that's gonna do a lot of things. And one of the things I wanted to do is I'm gonna have a whole bunch of commands that it will be able to do. I've set up the whole command buffer for it, doesn't matter, long story, unrelated. The point is, it's a program which you run, you give it as an argument, the command to run, and it adds it to the system, and the system processes the command. What I want to do is I want to, with Vosk, do the typical voice to text, but then what I want to do is I want to make some kind of parser which would take in that text and, well, I was thinking about how to do it algorithmically, but now I realize that we don't live in the 1820s anymore, we live in the modern age. So what I thought, I could actually make my own AI, which I would give the pairs of text I said and the command it corresponds to. So for example, if I say shut down the lights, then it would just run lights 0 or something like that.
So look up, I would encourage you to look up 2 things: semantic kernel and MCP server, because those do the same thing in a sense. So the semantic kernel and MCP servers, because essentially it's like a cross between those, but that will show you what other people are doing in that regards, because it's a common thing to want to do.
I figured it would be common. I mean, the whole like Alexa do XXX, right? That's existed for a really long time.
Yeah, so like the MCP server is essentially just turning an API into some kind of prompt for the AI. Like, here you go. Here's the tools you have access to. And then the semantic kernel kind of is used to get AIs to talk to each other, semantics and stuff. But yeah,
Okay.
that's fun. What you're doing there is fun.
Thank you. I'm actually putting genuine work into it and trying my hardest to not be myself when it comes to code writing, because I gave I gave to LM Studio, to Quen, my code, and it was so comical when I expanded its thinking process, because the entire time the AI was like, this seems to be wrong. This code is very weirdly written. And it even began hallucinating. It took a minute for Quen to think. A minute. It generated like 3 or 4 pages of the thinking process, reasoning. It was comical. I broke it effectively with a couple lines of code.
That's awesome.
But
You should have just given it that single Python file that you did to program all of the orbitals of every element in the periodic
That's
table.
an extremely old callback. Jeez.
Wait, what?
Basically,
He literally on stream, one line of code. He stubbornly didn't want to use 2 lines of Python code, so it was like a 48 kilobyte single line code.
Yeah, it was a single line, because in Python lines matter, and like in most of the languages. And so what I wanted to do is I realized that when you have the like basic information about an atom, you can figure out its electron configuration just based on that without any like recursion or anything fancy. So I was like, oh, I'm not gonna waste 2 lines of code on it. I'm gonna do it in 1. And I ended up with a couple thousand characters long single line of code.
That is insane.
Yeah, it was insane. And the fact that he was working on it, and just imagine working and troubleshooting a program on a single line of code.
It was awful. It was a massive waste of time, which, to be fair, is
It was
on
like
brand
2
for me.
days.
I think it genuinely was like 2 days. I made a video on it. I just don't know if it's on the new channel. Hold on, let me see.
How you doing, Remco, by the way?
I'm well. How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, busy building
Same.
AIs.
Same, but without the AI part.
Just
What are you
building.
doing? What were you supposed to stop streaming with Make It in order to be productive to do?
I was building some models to solve string theory, Humble.
String theory?
Yeah. Just wait a couple of weeks and it will no longer be the whole topic of the day.
Yeah, Remco's really working on that Nobel physics prize for the whiskey.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm only motivated by the whiskey.
I understand completely.
The only thing that keeps me going.
Have you seen some of the stuff they've done with in physics, machine learning, physics simulations? It's been
No, I don't think I did.
so they were able. It's too complicated to process too many interactions with different molecules, but they were able to use machine learning to approximate the interactions of like an entire. I want to say it was like a cell or something, or protein chains.
Folding proteins. There, we're not being productive. Nah, you all had hope, didn't you? AlphaFold is
cool.
neat because with proteins, they are effectively too big in order to make any sort of chemical simulations. But medical simulations don't really exist, so it would be extremely useful for us to simulate them, but we couldn't. And then AlphaFold came around and changed all that. Didn't they win the Nobel Prize in physics?
I'm not sure, but I do know that can be applied to like almost any physics setting where you have too complex of interactions. The AI can actually, and you can kind of see this in some of the video AIs where they're actually able to do some ray tracing,
They got,
crazy stuff, but it's just approximated.
they got
But
it
it's
in
so
chemistry. Yeah, Alpha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Nobel Prize in Physics got some like quantum mechanics stuff that they did in the 80s and only now got the Nobel Prize for.
oh
So
wow.
this is the last year's Nobel Prize for chemistry. Yeah.
Wait, AlphaFold won it in 2024. I could have sworn it was so much
Cons-
earlier on.
The concept of time is non-linear.
Oh, has it been just a year since AlphaFold? Oh no.
I could have really used this in my computational physics project. And now I realize this was from last year, so I could have actually used this in my project.
Yeah, but I mean, this is meant to be for proteins, and as I mentioned,
So?
the whole. Well, I mean,
It would have been so much easier to let AI do all the computing instead of me having to write code.
I mean, yeah, that is the bit, but you know, this works best for really, really, really large things, because for small things you
So-
can still simulate.
Remco, I have a crazy idea I want to run past you and make it and time it.
Go for it.
So I thought it'd be crazy to get AI to do better physics simulations, but it would be kind of like a fun tool is to have a box that's like I don't know, 1.5 feet cubed, and there's a camera in there and 2 little robot arms and a mic and some sensors, and literally all the AI does is try to understand physics by playing with objects, like a literal physical sandbox for the AI, and try to get it to constantly train. So you could give it arbitrary tasks and it would always be training on quote unquote real world physics, trying to understand
So, for example,
just how things interact.
So, for example, you build 2 cubes. The first one is the physics AI. The second one is a cube with an like accelerometer, and then you give it the task of just throw the second cube up, and you just let it run until it throws the second cube up.
Yeah, and so you could even build like a digital version with in some type of game engine too to get it to learn faster. But literally, like you
So
could
get it off the
crowdsource
ground.
physics.
Yeah, get it off
Yeah.
the ground with the virtual environment, and then put in the physical environment to fine tune it to make sure that it's proper physics.
Exactly.
I have
But what
seen
you could be training of AI that's actually trying to figure out the physics of reality just with its own literal real experiments in the real world.
There was this one case where I don't know any technical aspects of it, so I don't know how they did it, but I know that they got an AI to design a circuit. And then they built the circuit, they didn't understand how it worked. And it turns out that it worked because there was one part of the circuit that was effectively like a really long, not wire, but like a really long connection. A connection so long that it functioned as an antenna, and it was just picking up on the static of other devices in the room. I just think it was really funny that it actually built a working circuit without anyone realizing how it worked, and it was because of the constraint in the room. I think it would be fun. Building like two, because I imagine when you're talking about tasks, I imagine it would be, as I'm sending it, I imagine like it would be something that would be easy to measure. So you do make like a second cube with an accelerometer or something you can measure on it, and then based on that you could just give it directly a reward function. Where if the task is to throw the cube, then the reward is directly just the acceleration from the second cube.
Yeah, or you could put this box in an elevator and really confuse the AI.
I imagine you would just move it upside down and it would lose its mind.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if humans just evolved for millions and millions of years without ever being turned upside down? If one of us would flip, it would be a wild experience.
It's like the same as the Minecraft the world is upside down videos.
Sure, in my head I was more feeling like if someone turned the human inside out on the 4th dimension, but whatever, yeah, Minecraft upside down also works, I suppose.
I also think it's how weird we don't have very much 3D data for, like cameras are all 2D. So I wanted to make like a room that's filled with like these ESP32s that are hanging from strings from the ceiling. So like every, I don't know, foot, you'd have a ESP32 that had temperature, accelerometer, hall sensor, just every sensor you can, and filling an entire 3D grid. The problem is it's going to mess with the interactions of the air and stuff. But to like measure a 3D room with all these sensors to see what kind of
robber would
data.
break into your house and they would think they are in a Black Mirror episode.
It probably would.
But I get what you mean, like a volume,
Yes.
like volume sensor instead
Yeah.
of a surface sensor. That's, I mean, I can perfectly understand why it has never been done because, well, it's
Ridiculous.
well, like it's not often that you get something from inside. But at the same time, I suppose that it kind of has been done.
But what you realize is like we've exhausted all of our resources for like text for AI training. So we're now like generating synthetic data. But if you look objectively at how much data we actually have as a percentage of all data there is, it's almost negligible, you know, a rounding error above zero. So we are missing we need high quality data in order to train AI, specifically if we're going to try to have AI actually predict new physics. So part of my stupid idealistic invention brain wants to design some kind of 3D sensor just to give AI a crap ton of data to see if there's anything interesting that it can correlate.
I imagine, in my opinion, like in the future, the way AI would be integrated with it, it would be that you get a model, like AI wouldn't really help in the research phase, but more like application phase. So you create a model, then you test that model by building a real physical device, and you just perform a test, kind of like what Flame is doing right now. And then once you're done, you can spend a lot of heavy computational resources to simulate what that model would mean. And then based on those results, you could train an AI to then radically downscale the computational requirements. So, you first spend a lot of time figuring out string theory, just for the sake of argument. Now, this is something that AI cannot really do because, in that case, you're just creating something completely new based on no data, starting with just abstract mathematics. Then I suppose it doesn't really apply to string theory because the next step would be to test it. Well, Ben, yeah, I said that. And then based on it, you would just be able to simulate something. And then based on the results of simulations, you would be able to just create another AlphaFold effectively. That's how I think it would work, at least.
Or you could just give AI a box, a camera, and some sensors, and maybe it will create a black hole inside of it randomly one day.
I like that.
I feel
I'm
like
not much for an experimental physicist, but I like black holes.
Yeah. Why is there Hawking radiation coming from this toy I bought on Amazon?
They need to be extremo though, because if it's extremo, we can also test our string theory predictions.
I love the idea of. It feels like there was this one joke from the creators of what was the name? Like one of animation studio where there's just box that feels pain. The modern toy that every family loves, a box that feels pain, which is just a box that does nothing except feel pain. And this feels like a very similar vibe. A box that does physics. What kinds of physics?
Yeah.
We don't know. It does something. Depends. Buy a box, find out. Until we open the box, the black hole is not and is there.
Yeah.
Pandora's box?
There we go. That is good looking.
This is a great idea. I mean,
I like the bot to figure out classical physics. Just to teach it how to. Isn't that effectively what they did at Boston Dynamics? Now it just hit me. All the walking
Yeah,
robots.
Boston Dynamics is a lot. Like they'll actually build robots and then build artificial, like a virtual reality that the robots exist in. But you kind of have to map all of the physics of these robots. So that's how I think they train them. but they also train them in the real world. So I wanted to
Yeah, I
create
mean,
a dummy version.
It's always a trade-off, right?
Yeah.
The more you train it virtually, the more inaccurate they get, but it's much faster. In real life, it's way more accurate, but it's orders of magnitude slower. But there is this method of training where it requires way less input for the same. Did you actually
Yeah.
implement it? Oh.
I'm gonna build that box thing, by the way.
Oh yeah, that sounds fun.
I can help with the equations from the theoretical part.
I can help
Heck yeah.
with the models for the 3D printing.
Well, I was just thinking 2 actuator arms, a camera, and then I just need to figure out what sensors to put in it.
All of them.
All of them. I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
look up I2C, connect everything. It doesn't even.
So,
the
I was-
addresses don't even matter. Just.
I even thought, what if you had like, even for magnetism, you know that film that can see magnetic fields? It's like green and black.
Oh, that's what you mean.
What if you put 3 cameras and the box is made of like, you know, acrylic or something, but you literally have 3 of those little sheets and 3 cameras pointing out so you can see in 3D, and you could, of course, it's, you know, how far the magnet is away from those sheets is going to be
I thought you meant
limited.
I thought you meant this, which I already had on my desk for some reason in my box of miscellaneous
Ooh,
detectors.
mercury switch.
Is
right?
it mercury?
Uh
I don't know if it's mercury. I just know that it detects magnetic fields.
oh, Hall sensors. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Hall
why it
conductivity?
didn't work.
Fractional Hall? That's
Hall
crazy.
sensors.
I just realized.
I love Hall sensors. I use them all the time.
By the way,
I'm also making a Hall effect sensor camera. Have I told you that, Remco?
I don't think.
No, but I'm
So-
interested now.
So I have like just right now I have like a design for 8x8 Hall sensors, so it's not that many pixels, but you can actually measure, you know, magnetic fields and create like an image. But I thought it'd be fun to create like a electromagnetic aperture or lens. Like, would there be a way to bend the magnetic fields of an object to like amplify it as like a lens to a camera made of Hall sensors?
Oh, I get what that is.
Right? So
Wow.
you're literally, you would have some kind of like coil magnet or some as a lens, put a magnet in front of it, and essentially you're trying to modify the magnetic field with an electromagnet and try to read more information from it.
Oh,
I've been playing around with that idea. It's super stupid, but
I mean,
fun.
it would deal with the most annoying thing you can spin. But I just mean, could you?
I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't know.
there's a
either.
lot of data you can get from Hall sensors. So, and they're pretty small. The pitch, you can get the pitch down to like, I want to say 2 millimeters. So the lens, sorry, the sensor of the camera, you could probably do like 128 by 128 pretty easily. But you're only going to get like 8 frames a second.
I mean, that's like 7 more than my laptop gets. I would call that a win.
I
Yeah.
like how the forces right now are evening each other out. Renko makes me want to work on the video, and Tefta makes me want to work and fix it. It's balance. Nature's in balance again.
Well, I'll leave so I can get back to work because I'm
I
technically
haven't even
working.
begun working on fixing.
I will also leave so that the forces balance each other
Then
again.
I will want to work on neither. That's not great. Not a good deal. Hold on.
Did I mention I'm part Irish?
Did he just leave on that?
The Irish exit. That's I respect that.
Damn.
I love Irish. I just have this bit of a friend of mine where we did that for like half a year, where every single time one of us was about to finish a conversation, we would like show the other one an Irish flag somehow and then just leave. was your Discord, and it was just so hilarious because every single time one of us was about to leave, you could feel this like visible tension in the air of of one of us about to trick the other one into looking at an Irish flag. Right, we agreed Hamilton in red, correct?
Yes. That is such specific and weird.
But I get on board sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I have a YouTube channel.
So would you look at this whiskey bottle I have here? Leaves immediately.
Not Irish.
Irish whiskey?
Irish coffee is a thing, but I genuinely got so surprised that Irish coffee is with whiskey.
I love Irish coffee.
I do too. I just would feel like it's Guinness. You'd think.
I made it.
Or maybe
I
it's
made it
just me
once
being
myself.
racist.
Why?
I know, just Irish with Guinness, you know. 75. There we go.
Yeah, but Guinness is a beer.
Yes, that is correct.
Like, that with coffee would be, I don't know.
Ah, the other one disappeared. Shit.
By the way, make it.
Yep, that's my name.
Most of the equations you've used for the video, I have already produced the latex code for. So technically, you could just copy them from my file if you want to.
Yeah,
I
but
can- I
they're
can-
all pretty short and, you know, it doesn't take much.
Alright, you also did the sign?
The what?
That one was long.
The sign. Oh no, the sign they just skipped over. I didn't mention it.
Aha, smart.
There we go. Lagrangian and
I'm gonna have a random call on condensed matter tomorrow. Feel free to join.
Ooh.
condensed matter.
Yeah, specifically anions.
Onions?
Anions. Because that's like physicists, peak physicists, giving a name to a particle which can adhere to any phase, so not bosons and no fermions, which only got the plus and minus one.
Wait, does this
But
does this stem from any?
yeah,
Shit.
Oh, I thought you meant anions.
no anions,
Any. Oh my god.
any phase, anions.
Oh
My
no.
my disappointment is immeasurable.
I mean, if you want something measurable,
You know what? I take it back. I actually do like any ions. I've been railing against how annoying computer science is for their ridiculous amount of abbreviations they use for no reason. And
it's not any ions. It's anions.
yeah, I know.
Okay.
So I like the any in that then. Which one? Anion.
Oh my god. Anyway, how do we join?
It's gonna be on the server.
Ah.
No, wait, mission caller.
Wait, what time?
I don't know. My American dude did not respond, but probably in an American time zone.
No.
An Americanly reasonable time zone.
Okay, there we go. Red. Oh, like, what do you mean? Why do you index them like that? Oh, Blender. Don't start indexing from the middle. That's not even sociopathic behavior, that's just
That
silly.
okay. I was about to be very angry at the E
Why?
because you made it expectation value.
Oh, the bottom. Wait, why are the both of them at the same LaTeX? Why didn't you point that out to me, Remco?
I did. You just didn't listen.
Or maybe I did and you didn't point it out. There we go. Lagrangian. Minus 0.75. Mickey, why are you swimming in your research channel? Because I was supposed to be something different. Shut up. Don't
He has a
question me.
weak mentality.
I am chaotic. It's no secret. so much time making this exact same node setup. I'm going mental. Go. We're gonna have Hamiltonian is equal to kinetic plus yeah, this works.
Hungarian Panzer's name detected in chat. Hi, Ash, by the way.
I don't think Ash is Hungarian.
No, but Feyer is.
This new video
It's
going to be about the Lagrangian and Hamiltonian mechanics. Good spot, actually, Balin. Kind of. It's not gonna be about Hamiltonian in the slightest, but Lagrangian, yeah.
You know what? I'm going to be productive. I'm going to work on the next video. Or the next stream.
Wait, next stream we're gonna reach quantization eventually, right? Do you
No, we're
think,
just gonna put some heads on some funny things.
I mean that obviously yeah, but do you genuinely think we would be able to actually reach quantization next stream?
Let's just see. I'm going to look now in how much we need to do to get there. And based on that, I will make a formal proposition to you. Whether we can or whether we can't.
Deal.
But at first, I want to do some properties of the Lagrangian. Within the stuff that we did.
There we go.
Remco, I think I may have an idea on what the phase space may be like, but I need to double check it with you. So, is it like you have the generalized coordinates, and with like if you work it not in like the actual coordinates but the generalized one, the equations for kinetic energy and potential energy can be some very funky stuff, not necessarily the general equations, and then you graph one on one side, one axis, the other on the other axis, and then you mesh them together into that wibbly wobbly field. That is the Lagrangian.
The official and formal definition of the phase space is literally if you have n particles, it is a r to the 2n space. So it's just r to the 2n, and its coordinates can be described as vectors which both cover position and velocity. So for each particle, you have it's r to the 6n. My bad. So for each particle, you have 6 points. 3 of which are position, 3 of which are velocity. The 3 directions in 3D space.
Mm-hmm.
So your phase space is literally just a 6-dimensional space of all the possible positions and all the possible velocities. That is what phase space means.
But if we have like for simplicity sake one particle and only one dimension, so then the phase space is 2-dimensional.
Yes.
Ash, by the way, if I supply you a very cool proof complete with visualizations you can animate, will you make a video on it? Depends on what exactly you're talking about. Because you see, Ash, you have a reputation for being a mathematician, and oh by gosh by golly, I swear, if it's going to be just mathematics, I have a love and hate relationship with mathematics, which is mainly hate.
It's going to be just mathematics.
This guy knows it's gonna be just mathematics.
It's about the convergence. That is just mathematics. Only mathematics.
Wait, it's about the convergence of Fourier series to the original function. Wouldn't that be a bit close? Hold on. Fourier series to the original function. You mean like if you keep... You need to elaborate on what...
Squared.
You need to elaborate. Well, first of all, let's go piss off. And second of all, you need to elaborate on what you mean exactly for me to judge it.
Keeps getting better.
It's you can also represent it with... Hold on.
Yes, so Timon, if you have one particle, you have in 1D, you have one position, you have one velocity.
Yes.
This is exactly a two-dimensional space.
But
What
these
we-
are the generalized coordinates, right? And not the physical coordinates.
Yes, so the manifold or just your space will be slightly different in that in this case it will be curved. It will just be the path that the pendulum traces. That is your space. And also you add that to the velocity it can have. So in this case it will be a slightly bit more complicated because all the values for x will be a circle, so you will get a circle combined with all the possible velocities. These are just r, so you will get the topological space. Very funny. But the whole thing is, it's just these two coordinates are your phase space. Let's just call it R2. What we did in the stream is instead of describing them by R2 and V, instead of describing by X and V, we describe them by kinetic and potential energy, because there is I don't think it's a one-to-one relation between the two, but there is definitely a one to the other relation. It's definitely surjective. So instead of describing our phase space using coordinates of the pendulum, we did it using kinetic and potential energy of the pendulum. It's just a mathematical space that you're describing.
Ash then.
Yeah, but-
Goodbye, have a good one, and I'm pretty certain that would just fall under my video on the Fourier transform. Did I not cover it from the perspective of Fourier series? I could have sworn I did. I feel like it would be too close. Do continue now. Well, Remco Timon, that was to you. Ash is gone.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
You did about proving convergence is not trivial. Oh, you want me to actually make a video on the proof? Listen, I would be willing, but I don't think anyone would watch it.
I would watch that.
On the...
I'd watch that too.
So there's gonna be 3 viewers. Nice.
Exactly.
Not worth it.
Oh, I'm going to do, in this case, L... I would be tempting to just do Q and P in this case. L of Q and P.
Anyways, Timon, what we did in the video, we had our phase space described in kinetic and potential energy. What we then did is we plotted the Lagrangian, and in this case a random Lagrangian, because we did not plot the Lagrangian for harmonic or free particle. We just plotted the random functions to give the idea of the valley and
Yeah, but
the
like
peaks and minima.
so the x coordinate was kinetic energy and the y coordinate was potential, right?
Yes.
But then the entire thing was supposed to be x minus y, which like cannot be a wibbly wobbly space or a wibbly wobbly thing.
Or why not? If you plot the Lagrangian in this phase space as a 3D graph for the harmonic oscillator, you get a weird double hyperbolic thing because it's both squared.
Yeah, but that's for that's for general, like that's if you use X and Y and the generalized particle, no? I mean, you use Q and Q dot for it, not like kinetic and potential energy.
Yeah, but I could like think of such a complicated potential energy, such that this is a whole landscape.
Yeah, but like, okay, hmm? So like, wait, so like if you have like a kinetic and a shell, then you just do some, I don't know, that pairing, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and then it's just gonna be like very like it'll only be one thing, like it's gonna be like it's just gonna be a like plane that is 45 degrees in the if all you graph is is this, then it's just like
Yes. If you do this exactly, yes. However, we did make a simplification here in our talk, in our stream, where first of all, we are ignoring the time component, which does play a factor in this. And second, when I said that we go from the XY to the kinetic energy, the mapping you're using, so going to the squared, is surjective, but it's not injective. And that's why you don't get this. I think that injectivity of the mapping is why you don't see this, but instead see something random. Well, not random, but like depending on your potential. So when wait, hold up, let me think on how to phrase this.
it's like my idea was that but this might just be my hallucination on what a space could be, but my idea was that you have two dots, and like there's some X is some kind of like there's some kind of translation between P and Q dot and X and Q, which is already like very arbitrary and can be hyperbola, can be a like parabola, can be a circle, can be many things, and then for this you multiply some with something. Here you like square it and multiply it with something, and now that is like adding enough and then you graph the like you have some kind of potential energy here, some kind of kinetic energy. No way, this is what is and then you just for every possible kinetic and potential energy for Q and for Q dot and Q, you just do the subtraction and then you can have a wobbly space.
Yes, that is what you're doing.
That's the phase space.
The phase space is just the coordinates, but the plotting the Lagrangian is exactly that. That's how you get the wobbly terrain.
All right. Thank you.
You said that's the phase space. Rather, I was script writing. What is a phase space? The notation is Q and P, right? For generalized position velocity.
I would say Q and Q dot, but
Fine, Q and
Q
dot is-
and P also works, I suppose. Except it will be confused with momentum. It is not always necessarily momentum.
I'm going to do QP in here, and then I'm gonna do Q and Q dot.
What do you mean?
Well, in this animation, when I introduce Lagrange, I'm gonna do Q and P. This is like the introduction to generalized coordinates. The next animation is gonna be me zooming in onto those. Like, what are they? What is Q? Well, that's wacky. And then I'm gonna do Q dot for the phase space.
Yeah, like the whole. As long as that P is not confused with momentum, because when you're, for example, considering the pendulum, it's not momentum, it's angular momentum, which is something
I
else.
also came up with another example of generalized coordinates, which is a train track. If you have a train running on a track, then a position of the train would have to be described with x, y, z, or it could be just described as the distance along the track. Same idea as with the ball, except you have more generalized. Instead of a function, you have a curve.
This is funny because this is how you do stuff in GR. You say because of gravity, there's only this specific path that's allowed, the geodesics, and then you calculate all your stuff in like how long you've been traveling on that path.
That does make sense. It does certainly make sense. So, for example, Q and Q dots. What do I mention in the phase space? Nothing fucking mentioned there. Just move on to action. No. Can I introduce generalized coordinates of... That's what I'm gonna do. Well, I'm gonna go for the train example, except the train will have two generalized coordinates. Position and velocity. Position along the train track and velocity on the train track. And then, despite it typically requiring 6 dimensions to describe, in the phase space will be 2-dimensional.
Yeah, how I would define the phase space is the space of generalized coordinates,
Yes.
independent generalized coordinates with the velocities.
I know.
Good.
The issue isn't that it's too complicated. The issue is that it's too simple because I have nothing to write in this fucking chapter. We're gonna do a train, and then I'm gonna have the train. I can have like a dot on the phase space, and then I can move it around, and it will just move the train, because I am just an expert with animating.
Yeah, I like that actually.
Let's go over an example. Understanding. Back to the train. If we wanted to truly describe the train with Cartesian coordinates, we need 6. position X, position Y, position Z, velocity. Should be velocity, should be momentum.
But if oh, that was not.
Uh,
If you want to truly describe the train,
yeah. Should it be position and velocity or should it be position and momentum?
I mean, velocity and momentum are just the same.
I know, but like I'm trying to shield myself against the pedantic comments of nerds from the internet. So you know. I need to be exact here. Hi, the caper.
Whatever you want, man. Go for velocity because that's the usual Newtonian approach.
Hi, the caper. How you doing?
Hello.
If there is pedantics criticizing this under your videos, I'm going to criticize them and their life choices.
Oh, that's good. You do my yes. You will be my henchman.
I will execute the axe. Don't worry about it.
Like around this, except these coordinates might not be exactly what you think. So right here we need a dramatic camera zooming in.
Did you just write Lagrangian? Lagrangian? That sounds like Star Wars.
So, Caper, how are you doing? Other than getting a shit ton of work, because yeah, I know about that.
He's got contacts.
There we go.
Yeah.
I was specified at work grinding away, losing my sanity in the name of getting a shit ton of bonus. Haha, been there, am there. Fuck me, my life hasn't changed, has it?
It's called capitalism.
No, it's called rising and grinding, Remco.
Yeah, capitalism.
I have been on multiple occasions described as petite bourgeoisie. And
What?
Yeah, apparently it's like a term from Marx's economics of it's like owners of companies who are themselves workers of companies as well. So owners, so like, you know, if you own a shop, then you're the owner of the shop, but at the same time you have to work in the shop because it's a small shop.
Yes.
Yeah, and apparently one person wasn't once nice enough to not only call me petite bourgeoisie, but also let me know that according to the theory of Marxism, petite bourgeoisie are the first ones that turned to fascism, which was, well, fun, I suppose. Philanthropist won't pay itself.
Science is sciencing.
Philanthropist won't pay itself. Exactly. There we go. It's the it's the structure of exploitation.
Meanwhile, me who still hasn't found a job, so I have free time, just absolutely no money.
Something people usually do in this situation is stealing. I do not recommend it. I don't know why I brought it up.
Motherfucker, people who steal don't have free time. I would know.
I mean, just because you know one specific example, or
based on my sample size of one, my kleptomanic ass has been recently really waking up, and there was this place where I shop, and I just realized that they have a whole bunch of like technical doors with no cameras next to them.
No, like what I realized when I was like traveling between Netherlands and Germany is that nobody checks your bags at the border.
yeah, because we have open borders.
Yeah, the whole Europe dilly exists for a reason. The Schengen zone, I do believe, is what it's called.
It's also, if you go to Hungary, it's also open border. Only when you go to like Serbia, for example. That's the first time I went to a border check, apart from UK, because fuck UK.
You see, that's the difference between us. I've never been to a border check.
Damn.
Masking, not sacrificing my own sanity for Patreon. I'm honestly glad, but I'm mainly glad because if you were working your ass off for a bonus of $64, that'd be very upsetting.
Yes, Caper, I have been surprised by that quite some time now. Like, literally, when I just walk around in Germany or the Netherlands, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, there's freedom there? Why? Who allowed freedom? Like, freedom in this economy?
Yeah, I think we should also restrict a bit on the freedom because we are having a poor economy right now.
You have the best
Free,
fucking
holy
economy.
shit, 3 times regular wage. Fucking hell. That's a shit ton.
Damn.
Even if you're earning,
Give me some of that.
like, even if you're earning a minimum wage, that's more than I make in half a year.
I work 2 jobs and I don't get that kind of wages.
Hold up. Can I apply just for October, for the same place you work at?
Are you talking to Caper?
Yes, because like they said that this applies to like October, this 3 times, and like, hold up, I need that money.
Yeah, but Caper's also working his ass off for that.
Yeah, Caper is also gatekeeping all the money.
Gatekeep, gaslight, girl boss. Grind's gonna pay off. Good for you, Caper. Honestly, good for you. My grind isn't paying off because Fixit can't hack my third card yet. Bothers me.
I have a strategy. Okay, so what we did in the last stream was, I wanted to say capitalism because I saw Caper's message, but what we did in the last stream was Lagrangians. Sort of capitalism.
Oh, not your analogy again. Did we mention that analogy on stream? I don't think we did.
No, because I was embarrassed and I was hiding it.
That analogy is a stretch.
Something else.
It is something else.
Let's not mention it ever again.
We'll take it rest to our graves.
Thank you. So what we did last time was Lagrangians. I think we start next stream with going from Lagrangian to Hamiltonian formalism after some properties of the Lagrangian. Or maybe I should do the properties later when we go back to Lagrangian.
Space and
Okay,
plot the Lagrangian on it.
Caper, by the way, I needed like one like dinner with Theo when we talked about how Germany is like for me to decide that I want a German citizenship because that grants freedom. Like, I didn't know that existed.
What can you do with a German citizenship you cannot do with European?
Like the German government has a lot of like accommodations for German citizens.
And not European?
Not necessarily.
Slave fraction per general for the slaveholders. Bye, Caper. Have a good one. Back to the grindstone.
Bye.
Survive, hopefully.
Text me if you survived, please.
Lagrangian on it. We plot the Lagrangian and. Do I mention the ball in the action? Do I mention the ball before? Okay, so at this point, Remco, in the video, we're gonna have the plot of Lagrangian on the phase space.
Yes. That's the 3D graph.
Yes, I am familiar, I made it.
Thank you.
From there. Do I mention the ball first? Or do I mention just that, hi there all, hi, welcome. Well,
I would say mention the action first, and then mention that we can represent this diagrammatically in a way where it's just a ball rolling in the energy landscape.
okay.
Because I've been told in the previous stream that it's not actually a one-to-one Which I never fucking intended, but okay. But like it's simplified. It doesn't always work for every system. Because physics is just like that.
Just going back to our pendulum, we replied like we need to plug in our coordinates, and so maybe then I think x coordinate, the y coordinate, then we see time, but in reality we don't need all those coordinates. Did I mention time here? Oh, that's risky. Oh,
I don't know
Poncho!
if time is.
Oh, it's you, Poncho. How you doing, Poncho? Unfortunately, the meower isn't here right now. How you doing?
Hi.
Where?
Was that your not save account that you joined in? The one you mentioned? Because it certainly looks like one. Don't bother that account.
Wink.
I get what you mean, I get it. Okay, hold on, let me just okay, I have to be brutally honest with you. I may have checked that account. That's nothing bad. Oh, pilot of. Ah, enjoy of animations. I see. Okay. Wait, hold on. I was working. I got distracted again. Going back to the pendulum. We replied longer. Okay, so we need a pendulum. Damn it! I've been just sick for weeks now. With this recurring cough. And I might have health insurance soon, actually. Right side.
Free?
What'd you say?
For free?
No.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah. I'm making that big money. I'm making that health insurance money. I'm not even making that heating in my apartment money, but I'm making that health insurance money. Oh, that is not what I wanted to. Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. There we go. Let's put this pendulum a bit higher. $830 or $820. Oh god, Facebook, your supporter. Color cut. You mean timing?
What? Excuse me, what?
0.
This Poncho just called me color cat.
Don't say this poncho, it's the poncho, not this poncho.
I said did.
Oh, did. Well, I think so.
I mean, yes, I do draw a lot, that's correct. But I'm not a cat. My profile pic is a bat. It has wings. It has bat wings.
Make it.
Yes, that's my name.
Eigenvalues. How do we look on that?
I'm assuming you're talking about the next slash, you mean, not this video.
Yeah, of course.
Well, hopefully, yes.
Are we going to explain it, or are we going to?
I don't see why not, because, I mean, with eigenvalues, all I need to do in order to explain it linear algebra-wise is just draw a vector and then just scale it up or down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing we need. Yes. All right.
I mean, once someone called my profile pic a demon cat.
sufficiently blurry? No, it's not. It can be more. 0.6. There we go. Now we're cooking.
We've always been cooking.
Damn right. How quickly is the pendulum swinging? Because it feels very slow. Oh my goodness gracious me. Remco, do you remember which one of those controlled the...
Yeah, the one all the way in the left,
Never
Top.
mind, figure it out.
or you can do that. That's boring.
I've added a value that controls it apparently.
I don't recall. I don't have active memory of that.
I don't know why it's an integer. I don't know why it's an integer value. That doesn't... Because you'd like... It's quantized. Shut up. It makes sense.
This is like the real cliffhanger for the quantum mechanics stream.
The feline spectrum. What do you think of foxes, Poncho? Where would you place a fox on the feline spectrum?
A fox?
Yes. You know, you have different kinds of dogs. You have dogs, you have wild dogs, which is wolves, you have water doggies, which are seals, you have coconut doggies, which are capybaras, and you have foxes, which are cat dogs.
Also, don't forget sky dogs.
Yeah, cat X dog. Perfectly down the middle. Well, you're the expert.
It's dog hardware, cat software.
So first, let's start at some point and draw a line to another point. Right? Is that... Should be fine. Oh, this would actually be pretty neat to visualize all this. It'd be shit ton of work, well, it would be pretty neat. The entire last chapter, by the way, I don't think it will have any animations.
Hold up. I will listen to you in a second. I am so excited for the quantum thing because I just realized that the simple harmonic oscillator in quantum mechanics formalism is going to be a banger.
No, why is that?
Because it logically, step by step, explains everything we need. So just this simple example is going to explain everything we need to.
Oh.
Like the
surprise, quantum harmonic oscillator explains everything.
Yeah, we're back at it again, physicists. Anyway, so what were you saying? Something with no animations in the last chapter.
Yeah, the last chapter will have no animations. It will just be edit of the stream.
What is the last chapter again?
Derivation. It will start with the derivation.
Of the Euler-Lagrange equations.
Yeah, and then Euler-Lagrange, and then back to free harmonic, and then
I like that.
will be a cliffhanger. The hats will be actually visible in the video. They were on the stream. They will be visible in the video. That's how I'm gonna end the video, and then we'll just leave it as a cliffhanger.
By some divine intervention. Missed times will do better next time.
When are we doing the next stream, by the way? This Sunday, right?
Upcoming Sunday? Sure, fuck my life.
2 days, right? Yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah, from scratch. Nothing prepared. Now 2 days. I mean, if I worked on it non-stop, I would probably be fine.
What's annoying is that next week, I won't be available next Sunday. So...
Yeah, me either. So it will be the week after.
That's good. That will have to be in 2 weeks then.
Or if we don't have to do it on a Sunday, we can also do it like somewhere through the week. So after the weekend.
What you doing this Friday? Or is it a secret?
Who are you asking? Because we both said we were busy.
We both said we were busy in the weekend.
Yes.
Which is not even a Friday.
Oh yeah, Sunday, same thing, whatever.
Like, huh? Am I supposed to answer what I'm doing now?
No, you don't.
I
Only if you
remember
wanna.
back when in this country people had freedom.
I did not know I was being governmentally traced. I guess that explains the Hungarian part.
Oh, you
Um,
very much are.
so what I'm doing is I work, but not on a Sunday, that's on the Saturday. I hope that was very helpful for an answer.
Perfection. Thank you.
You're welcome. No, I'm over at my friend on Sunday, so I cannot do the stream unless I want to involve my friend, which I don't think is a good idea.
Why not? More the merrier.
Yes, but I will mainly be talking, and then she's just sitting there like, hi.
Does your friend know about your involvement with this community?
Yeah, I sent them the live stream last
Oh,
week.
because that would be pretty funny. Hey, wanna hang out and join the live stream with me?
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That would
But
be
no,
very
I sent them the
weird.
live stream, and she actually watched like half of it. So she hates math and physics and
Hey,
everything
half,
about it.
half is incredible. Good for her for sticking halfway through. Impressive.
Turns out she was just listening because she wanted to hear my voice. That's all.
Can't tell if that's creepy or... You know what? Still something. I suppose still something. Hi, the QWERTY.
It's sweet. It's sweet. Come on.
Poncho, don't even.
Hi, QWERTY.
Poncho, don't even dare. Let's see that one.
Welcome to the stream, QWERTY.
Yeah, that's life. See, Timon asks you where you'll be, what you will be doing.
Yeah,
You
I
answered
feel.
it completely omitted.
I know, but that was on purpose. That's why I am your
Poncho.
wingman. Remember?
Poncho, don't try to predict me. Don't try to predict me. It's not gonna end well.
I mean,
it never.
I
Yeah, there we go.
I
Retract the message. Go ahead, coward. I'm sorry, Poncho. That I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to just lash out at you like
Don't
that.
worry.
I still love you.
I'm putting you in timeout. Don't worry.
I mean, I was asking both of you, but I just knew that Make It would dodge the question, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a
Yes,
very
it-
uncomfortable question.
Yeah, I might be doing something illegal.
I
I
know.
am doing something illegal.
I did state that you only answer if you wanna.
I don't know yet if I'll be doing something illegal, but there's an option.
I mean, considering the card, you're probably going to do something illegal.
I might be doing drugs. I don't know. We'll see.
That's legal here. That's nothing. That's
Yeah.
child's play.
Oh no! It isn't, Remco. No, it isn't.
Are you just up talking your own
I'm not
activities
talking
now?
about. I'm not talking about pot. Also, I
Of
didn't
course
say
I know.
I didn't say I'm gonna do it. I'm just saying that if an opportunity were to present, that's it. No.
Let me just say, if you get offered drugs, hypothetically, of course, it's all a thought experiment. You will probably find like the nearest lighter and start experimenting on it, but giving it some color or something.
No, I have a different idea. Basically, hold on. Let me check what it's called. I have a different plan. What happens if a drug dealer approaches me? But I need to check what it would be called in English. Basically, an invoice, apparently. All right. So, like, I'm pretty certain this happens in most countries. Just that English, there isn't that much terminology for it. But like, there is two ways when you pay for something. You can either take a receipt or an invoice.
Mhm.
And when you take a receipt, you're a customer. When you take an invoice, you're a business. And the whole thing.
So you're gonna take an invoice.
Yeah, basic idea is that like if you go to the store and if you buy a vacuum cleaner, if you buy it with a receipt, you're buying it as a customer, which means you have customer protections. If you buy it with an invoice, then you're buying it as a business, so it's a tax write-off. And one thing I really want to do is, if a drug dealer approaches me, I want to ask if I can get a receipt or an invoice. You know? Just to see the reaction.
Not random at all.
Just to see the reaction. I've been looking for some, but it's surprisingly difficult to find them.
I'll send a copy away.
Most people in clubs just share. They don't sell. They're great.
Yeah. Free
I mean-
beer, free drinks, free drugs.
Oh no,
Good
never
life.
alcohol. Goodness no, alcohol is expensive as shit.
I mean, Megan, have you seen my messages in the intern booth the day before yesterday or yesterday or
I use
I think it
intern
was-
booth exclusively to ping Remco. Day before yesterday.
Not valid.
Well, sometimes I ping Flame over there as well. What about parakeets?
No, after that.
God, jeez. Well, that's still the all talking about parakeets. Then it's me pinging Remco. Oh.
Keep in mind, that was 4 days ago and you're still not done with the video.
Yeah, it turns out to be much bigger than I expected.
Good content.
Like, questions may be asked now. Oh, Ash, you're like 3 seasons late by now. They've carried on. We carried on.
We already made two videos on VA transforms and stuff.
Yeah, we already. It's already videos already done.
We solved it, like mathematically as well. The AI box of Tufta was really useful in this.
AI box. I like the idea of it just being a blunt box with absolutely nothing on it. It just does physics, you know? It's a box that does physics. I might need to. I want to help Tessa design it because I want it to be a silly box. I was tutoring a friend. Good for you, actually. Good for you. I'm glad you're making connections because, yeah. I almost went on a tangent. I had to stop myself actively. I keep getting messages on my phone from Snapchat and Instagram, and they annoy me because it's constantly Snapchat just giving me random people. Hey, do you know that person? Hey, do you know that person? Like trying to me to actually get involved. And every single time I just swipe, fucking off. It decharges my phone. My phone is old and fragile. It honestly runs on broken dreams, tears, and blood of orphans.
I think we just need some more Blood of Orphans.
I'm
It
running
will
out.
fix it. It will fix it, I promise you.
It will what?
It's like smoothening the like oil, like a WD-40. Is that a thing in English?
WD-40.
Is that a thing?
Yes.
Please tell me
yes,
that's a thing.
yes, it is.
Okay, good. For a second, I thought it was just Dutch. He's writing Lagrangian because he can't fucking spell.
It's because it doesn't light up as an error, so
What do you mean? It definitely lights up as an error sometimes.
sometimes it doesn't light up here.
Yeah, and I don't know why it doesn't. It's the same exact spelling.
I don't know why. What is this? Lagrange refers to a function.
Just
I don't
switch
know
the
why
D
it-
to a G.
I don't know why. It doesn't.
Like
Oh,
even
it
Google
lights
just
up.
says you're wrong.
Oh, in this case it lights up because it was capital L. But then G. It didn't here, but you know what?
Just Control F Lagrangian. Second word Lagrangian.
No, I just don't care.
It's just pronounce it properly.
I can have a continuous function. I don't know if that's supposed to be helpful, useful or not. I don't know what that means, Ash.
I know what it means, and I don't know what it means.
Yeah, not fine.
Actually-
Just this one off.
Ash, actually, maybe you can argue that you can do some sort of how is the technique called again? It's like a mean value integral. No, it's not mean value. That one is famous. This one isn't famous. I'm gonna look it up. We did it in quantum field theory. What you're basically doing is you are calculating the main contribution of the integral and arguing that everything else vanishes. It's mathematical consistent. And you do this. You want to do this because you want to end up with like the delta function. So it would be the same. How's it called again? Oh, it's called the stationary phase approximation, and you might want to write the signs into exponential because else it doesn't work. Don't do that. Yeah, no, I think you're just fucked.
Can we think of, when it comes to path integral, I'm thinking of a way to describe it that would make the most sense. Like an average value of a path.
Path integral?
Yeah.
No.
Damn it.
Let me think for a couple seconds on what the path integral actually is. I mean, it's kind of a generalization of the action. No, it isn't. I mean, yes, it is, but not in a useful way. You want to talk about path integrals here?
Yes.
All right. Okay, I can say something on it.
Flipped. There we go.
Right. So, we've seen with the action, if you're in your phase space, you're at system A, you want to go to system B. The action basically selects which of the paths is best.
Go from A to B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it just compares all the paths, assigns numbers to the path, and selects like the best number is the path you want to take.
Yeah.
Now what we're doing is we are starting again in some point, and we are going to make it discrete. So instead of looking, we want to go from point A to point B. Is we want to wait for we want to run it for like this for one time step. So it will go some direction. What we do is we assign a value on all these directions, and specifically we give them a phase, and this phase that is dependent on on your action. So it picks like the best path. So the path that would get you from this point to the next point in the best way will have the lowest phase. It will basically have no phase at all. So instead of describing it with an action, giving a number to the path, you give every direction, you give a certain number, which you can see as a phase because it's an exponential.
And these directions are based on all the possible points it could reach.
Yes. So you just wait for this time second, and then in it just considers every single direction, and it assigns a phase to every single of these directions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what we're now going to do, because we want to end up at B eventually, we are going to do this for the next point. So technically we're doing it for every point, but let me now just consider this point which is the best phase, let's say. We're going to do the exact same thing, where once again we are taking all the different directions, assign a phase to them once again. And we are going to do that for every single time step until like A reaches B. And we can just sum those, or in this case, it will be an integral over these time steps, T over ds. Then what we are doing is we are considering all the paths with all the directions that in these time steps, in these time steps reached B. So we're discarding everything else. So we're only looking at all the paths which through this procedure of making it discrete and making every time step like a new choice, we are going to care only about the ones that actually reached B in this amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So now each of these paths has like a face to it. For example, let me draw this with arrows for this one, and for another one it will be like this. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to sum over all these faces.
Oh, this is where we get the ball.
I don't think we can represent it with a ball anymore.
Can we not?
Because we are now. I don't know if we can. Let me just continue this. We have assigned faces to all these single points in the path, so all these time steps. What we're now going to do is we're going to integrate over all this, so sum them all up. And what we will see is this is called the path integral. I'm gonna call it Z. It's also the partition function in thermodynamics. What we see is when we sum this, these are phases. So what this means is that, for example, here we have a phase that goes up. That goes down, I mean. Mm-hmm. That points down. Here we have a phase that points up. Mm-hmm. These two cancel each other. And on general, every path we can take, almost all of them will cancel each other in a way. All these phases will like have opposite direction, so they're just zero. Or in this case, 1. You can see this in the equation if you have e to the minus a number, a times e to the a. This just means they have opposite faces. This just equals 1. So, and you integrate over all possible ways, so you also like add these. They just sum to 1. So what matters is then the important path, which is also the classical path, which has these arrows all pointing in the same way. And this is basically the only path that survives. It's not entirely true because the paths in the direct environment, so like these ones, also help support it. They all have like their faces like aligned. So every of the unconventional paths that like why would a particle take like the loop-de-loop, they just all don't matter. They sum up to nothing. The only important paths are the one near the classical path. And this is also the answer you get. And this is what this means is you have one, the important one here, the one that gives the most contribution, is your classical path. But like you have a couple around them, which are your quantum mechanical paths. So these are kind of like giving quantum mechanical interactions to your system. I guess that is for now the best way I can explain this. But
Okay, but the entire time in this case you were talking from A to B.
Yes.
What about from A to every point?
You don't really care about this because now you have wait, do you care about that?
Wait, what is the value of going from A to B then? I mean, what's useful about going from A to B? Because in order to go from A to B, you need to select both the A point and the B point.
Yes. Because what we are doing here is, let me think, we are already assuming the principle of stationary action. So we are already assuming that we are going to minima or maxima. So what we do
that's
is
right,
usually
okay,
we take B to be a minima or a maxima. So we
Okay,
don't
gotcha.
care about the other options.
But then, hold on, because questions big questions. Because if that's the case, then you have multiple flat points to choose from. Which one is going to be the B? Like, let's say hypothetically, if you had a function which is like really low on the edges and really high in the middle, kind of like a sombrero, then if you had a point directly in the middle, like this would be A, right? And then all of these, this would be a ring of B's. Which point on that ring would it go to?
Good question. And this is part of the formalism. Yes, we will mostly go to a minima. But what we do is we don't specify which one. We just say it depends on the initial. This is the initial position, and the final position.
Okay, so
Um,
then this brings back the issue, because in that case this makes sense. This makes perfect sense if you have the initial and final position. I just don't understand why it would be useful then if you have also the final position. What is the motivation behind it?
The motivation behind this is that you can exactly calculate this for the simple systems, and what you get is the propagator. You get a function that gives you the probability of going from the first point to the second point
And
in a certain amount of time.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, yeah, because then if you have this function, then you could just check that function for every point.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Right.
And like the main thing is that you get this probability just by considering all the possible paths from A to B. So like all the possible ways you can get, and you weigh them with a factor. So like the classical path is very, very likely, so it has a high factor, whereas some path with some loop-de-loops is very unphysical, so you just give them like a almost zero factor, so it doesn't really contribute to the probability. And this doesn't really contribute, this almost zero factor actually comes in play by these cancellations of phases.
Okay, so in other words, what path integral effectively does is you have point A, you have point B. It gives you the probability of point A going to point B based on the paths between them, based on the action. And so, okay, so there are a lot of like infinities at play here, because then you have
correct.
You have A, you have B. You have a path between them. Action gives you a rating, lower, better.
Mm-hmm.
Then what you have is you have A, B, and you just consider every single possible path from A to B. You rate them and you sum them all together, weighed by actions. Some of them will cancel each other out, and what you effectively get is like a trend path.
Mm-hmm. The classical path.
Yeah, so this is what I mean. Like, we can say that this would be like the most preferred path on average.
Yes.
Okay, and then at the end, what this gives us is this gives us the probability of us going from A to B, and then we can use this because if we have A and if we have infinite amount of points, we can create like a map of probability of this point going to any other point. I can't really draw a map in this case, but you get what I mean.
Yes, and now the curious part is, what if you have like two of these things? So you have one here, and you just, for example, wanna consider the probability of them getting together and like continuing. And for example, this is an electron, this is an electron, but like this doesn't happen because we need to actually create something with something else. And look at that.
I don't
It's a
recognize
famous
it. I
diagram.
don't recognize it. Never seen it.
Never done that in my life, have I?
Never heard that name.
Yeah. So this probability function, this propagator, that is exactly what you need in quantum field theory. So we will do this. But then I will give a better explanation because this was too much on spot.
I think I know where to go with. We don't need to constrain that. We can curve it a bit, and if we curve it, we get a slightly different path. Not only is it longer, but its height changes as well. So right here on the left, I'll draw 7 different paths, and on the right I will represent their heights. Now, what action? Oh, I didn't introduce an action today.
Yeah, but you didn't what?
I didn't introduce an action before. I didn't mention the action. The title of the chapter is action, but it doesn't. Now that I'll do it in a second. Action is just a score of. You can think of it basically as assigning them all a score of annoyingness, which says just how annoying a path is to follow. The straight path isn't all that annoying to follow. It's short, it doesn't change the height much, simple. This elaborate one with loop-de-loops is annoying to follow. Height changes, it's long, it's awful. Okay. Oh wait, I missed Ash's comment because I wasn't in live chat. Wait, maybe even the book hasn't. Supermem is not a real word. I refuse to believe it is. So would the action be constrained to some kind of domain? Or can it just be anything from 0 to infinity?
I'm pretty sure it's 0 to infinity.
Okay, good. Now I can just make up bullshit numbers.
It might even be minus infinity to infinity.
Mine, what?
What? How?
I mean,
It's an integral.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, but are you certain? Because I don't know if I should do 0 on the best one, or if I should, well, not 0 on like 0.7, or if I should go for negatives. I'm gonna do 0.7 just to be safe. Doesn't matter. Okay.
I mean, it should be able to go negative because it's just kinetic minus potential. If your potential is higher than your kinetic, it's negative. Unless the integral changes sign as well.
Now let's ask another question. What would be the if we had this point A travel to point B, what would be the average path it would take? Well, it would try to keep it the least annoying. So it would prefer travel with the less annoying ones. So what we can do is we can add paths together weights by the action.
Okay.
Yep.
The value of the action is not important. Since you can always change it by adding energy to the Hamiltonian or the Lagrangian.
Okay, good then.
Constant energy. Because if you just add constant energy, you get an extra integral and then you get more action. So it's only like the action itself, the value of the action is not important. The main important is the path, and when you compare the action with another path.
Alright, that's good then. That's perfect even, I would say, for what I
Perfect.
do. Fun with actions. So let's imagine a point A and point B and draw a line between them. Okay. Weight by action, and what we get is like a general trend of least annoyingness. This is the preferred path. But importantly, this trend has a value itself, which we can interpret as the probability of going from point A to point B.
Let's say that again.
The most important, okay, if you look at the lowest thing with the yellow, black dots, yellow paths, red paths on the whiteboard.
Well, let me switch to your stream.
Basically, the important.
Yeah, I'm there.
The yellow line in this case isn't important. Or isn't the most important thing. The most important thing is that this yellow line gives us the probability of going from A to B.
Yes. Although this yellow line is important in the sense that this is how the particle would behave in the class.
Yeah. That's why I corrected myself. It's like in this case that's not the main thing we want. The main thing we want is the fact that it gives us the probability of A to B. I'm not saying it's useless. I mean, I'm just saying that for our purposes, what we want is the probability.
Yes, but the probability is not only determined by this yellow line.
No, fuck off. What?
No, I mean the whole thing is of like the propagator or the quantum field theory path integral is that it considers all these paths, and that is the propagator. It just like if you consider
hold on. But isn't considering the yellow line considering all of them, because the yellow line is combination of all the red ones weighed by the action?
I mean, no, the yellow line is just the most likely one, but like this one will just be this one will be allowed as well. This one will be allowed as well, and even
this
some
entire time
stuff.
I was thinking of the yellow one as like a superposition of all the red ones.
No, that's unfortunately not the case.
That sucks.
So the yellow line is the most probable, but this is in a very confusing sense because then you get to the funny point where there is infinitely many paths. So giving it a probability that is the yellow path is just it has probability 0.
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh wait, that was the end of your sentence. I thought you would say like a but or a however.
No, that's the problem here. It's
But
you,
then
you
why
can't
would you
speak of
label
only
those?
one path. So you are right in the sense that we need some sort of superposition of them.
Once again,
Um,
you're using tone as if you're meant to continue. Go on.
I don't know where to take this. That will satisfy you.
So okay, why don't okay? So the simple question: why do we go through with all of this bullshit instead of taking like a superposition of all the red paths?
Because there's infinitely many. You can't write down a superposition of something where there's infinitely many from, and that is the problem we're facing in quantum field theory. And we solve that with the path integral, which is kind of a superposition of them all, except not literally, but yes, kind of it is.
So it is kind of a
So-
superposition.
Yeah, but the yellow path is not a superposition of all the others.
It's only kind of a superposition.
No, the yellow path doesn't have anything to do with superposition. It's just the classical path. It's just the most optimal path a particle would take if there's no quantum mechanics. It's the only path a particle would take if there's no quantum mechanics. The path integral is a superposition of all the paths, but it's not the yellow one.
Why is classical mechanics so confused? So confusing.
Okay, hold up.
Okay, so the path integral is kind of like the superposition of all the paths. But
Yes.
what the fuck is the yellow line?
Yellow line is just the most likely path.
Okay, how do you
gives
get
the
the yellow
most
line?
contribution. What you do is you use the stationary principle of action.
Oh right.
Or-
Oh,
Alternatively, what you can do is you send h bar to 0 because then you don't have quantum mechanics anymore. Yeah, because I've been cheating a little bit. Well, not cheating. When I write the path integral, what you want to write is this. There should actually be an I. This probably makes more sense when we talk about phases. This. The reason I don't use an I is because I immediately Wick rotate, which means sending I to -1, which means instead of using the Minkowski space-time, the -1 plus plus plus, I used Lorentzian, which is just all pluses. Love that. Anyways, yes, the I makes it a phase. The H bar is just there to ensure that everything else makes sense when you keep them relative. In that this is a really small number, this H bar. So when you divide by it, it's a really huge number. So you get like wildly oscillating phases because you know that this is the exponential of a plus what is it 2 pi I, and there should also be an I here. This is literally just the same. So it's
I feel like,
yeah.
I feel like we're getting off point from what confuses me, because the thing is, so it can be clear, yellow path. How do you get the yellow path?
It's the yellow path is you still have your action, you still have your quantum mechanical action.
Yes.
The yellow path is you solve your action with the Euler-Lagrange equations. So you are in the stationary points. You get an equation of motion. That is the yellow path.
Okay, and the path integral doesn't give us a path.
The path integral just considers all of them.
Okay, and what does it give us?
It gives us the probability
Okay, good.
from A to B.
So path integral is what gives us the probability from A to B.
Yes,
Okay, we're back on track.
perfect.
This. Okay, in this case, the path integral would be kind of like sum all of them weighed by the action.
Yes,
Okay.
So every path you weight by the action, or the phase of the action. The action of the phase, I don't know. Just this exponential.
This gives us this kind of like the sum of annoyingness. And it's not the path of least annoyingness, it's just the sum of annoyingness. So basically, kind of like a score of how annoying it is to go from A to B. And this right here is the path integral A to B, right? Would it be path integral from A to B, or what would it be called exactly?
It is the path integral from A to B, yes.
Okay, good then.
You have initial position and time, and you have final position and time. Yes. So you could just consider it A and B. But it's not... Okay.
It's not what? Continue.
It's not a score of how annoying it is to go from A and B.
Well, obviously it isn't, because these points don't have feelings that would express annoyingness. Annoyingness
No,
is
I mean,
just...
not the annoying. You could substitute anything in there, but like it doesn't tell you how likely it is to go from A to B. It tells you which path it's likely to take to go from A to B.
Motherfucker, Remco, I feel like I'm smoking crack right now, because you just said that the path integral gives you probability of going from A to B.
Yes, but like, I mean, okay.
I specifically asked you if it gives you a path. You specifically said no.
All right, let me explain this in a way that doesn't make me sound like I'm sober.
It sounds like you have a multiple personalities disorder.
I know what the struggle is.
Because
It's me explaining.
Because okay. So the path integral, does it give you a path? Does it give you probability going from A to B? Does it give you both, or does it give you neither?
It is the path integral. It is a superposition of all the paths, yes.
Okay, carry on.
Stop slamming your desk.
I'm fine, carry on. Go on.
It gives you a probability of going from A to B with a specific path. But it doesn't tell you which path it's going to take. It just gives you a probability.
Yes.
For every path.
Yes. What's the problem then? Wait, when you say for every path, do you mean for all the paths at the same time?
You're confusing me.
Motherfucker! I'm not the one, trust me. The path integral.
You get the propagator for the path integral. You need the kernel. I'm going to figure this out. It's very confusing if you want to consider it in like hands down, like this is the path integral is a superposition. Yes, it technically is. No, it also technically isn't.
Kind of, it works good enough for me. We're working with an analogy here, but like you just said that a path integral giving you a score of how annoying it is to go from A to B isn't quite accurate. So I'm trying to drill down to why, so that I can figure out how to change my analogy.
I'm thinking. Just continue. Give me like a minute to collect my thoughts.
I can't continue actually. This is the last portion of the script in the video. There's nothing for me to continue on. Like once we're done with this, the next chapter is just edits of the live stream. The video might actually be ready tomorrow if I speed it up.
Hey, I like that.
I like that as well. It's gonna be a bit late because I genuinely thought it would take me around 4 days or 3. I should have worked a bit harder. Next stream I'll have to just pull myself together more. At least I get to work on the mask video. I was supposed to. I'll do the preview today. It's fine.
How many mask videos do you have, or will you have, or like?
It's well, so far I'm working on the same one.
Ah.
It's just that I finished round. Well, I still need to add the final touches before this Patreon preview, but I finished 20 minutes of it. There's still around 40 minutes left-ish. You can I got a solid progress on this video done, which means I'll be able to spend the rest of this day working on fix it. So I unwind. What's it gonna be? Meta of a billion.
Okay, yes, I have gathered my thoughts. I have looked at some examples, which I did in my bachelor.
Mm-hmm.
Actually last year. You don't have to change anything. It's sufficient.
Okay. So Go on.
What you calculate with the path integral is the probability amplitude of going from one state to another state, or in this case, from A to B. So you're calculating
Yes.
a probability amplitude. So in this case, yes, it is exactly how you say it. Perfect.
Okay, good then. That's good. Path integral from A to B. And where do I want to go from there then? Well, first I'm going to reinforce the understanding, and then once we're done with that, it is just a matter of segueing to the derivation. So, how am I going to segue to the derivation? Okay, it's gonna be this. I don't even need to. I can just. Oh, that segue is gonna be easy. Never mind.
You can let me do it.
Oh, for the no, I'm just going to literally note down the path integral in Blender, and then it's going to like phase out into the live stream. The same text, but written this time on the blackboard. And that's because on the blackboard, like we're just gonna do this. This is action. This isn't the path integral. Not close enough. I'm just gonna talk about the action then. Fuck it, I guess.
Yeah, don't talk about the path integral. We will get there in like 3 or 4 streams.
Why there was this? I would. That's the problem. You see, that's what I was talking about. Action, genuinely, you made before the live stream. You made the action sound so terrifying. You kept saying how they're confusing and such, but like on the chapter on the action, look how short it is. And most of it is about the path integral.
Yes, I mean, effectively, you're just giving a number to every path.
Yeah.
But that doesn't help with how to explain it, what the intuition for the action is.
Annoyingness. That's the intuition. How annoying a path is.
I suppose. Yeah, sure.
I mean, this helped me understand. Actually, I had no clue what that was before this, so I said good enough.
Wait, where am I even in the script? We went on such a tangent with trying to parse what the path integral is. Travel to grow, keep with preferred travelers and anyone so basically.
Why did they even pay my? Why did they even pay my teachers at my previous uni? I learned everything from Remco anyways.
Vegas is carrying the explanation here. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, but I'm learning from listening to you, and I've learned from the live stream. Or like I learned quantum mechanics from like testing with you.
I guess I should also explain why it is this integral, but I mean, if someone has eyes, then they can figure out why it is this integral. The only requirement for understanding this integral is perception, the ability to see.
I guess proof by visualization.
No, but I mean, if you say the total Lagrangian over the path, then this is just the notation for it. This is the notation for total Lagrangian over the path. Yeah, fuck it, I'm mentioning it then, fine. This integral. This integral effectively just says the total Lagrangian over the path. So the more Lagrangian there is, fuck me. The more Lagrangian there is, the higher the path. The higher the path. And in this case, I'm gonna do an asterisk on screen that says, when I refer to the Lagrangian, I obviously mean the energy that the Lagrangian do at each point of the path. The higher the path action, is that how we would say it?
Make it when you do asterisks on screen, can you leave them for a bit longer, because just pausing the video right on time to read the asterisks is like quite difficult.
That's the point of asterisks. That's why I have them blink so quickly. They are not meant to actually solidify understanding, because I do believe that every human with a brain understands when I put an asterisk. They are just meant to shield myself against angry nerds from the comments. So, for example, when I was dealing with particle, when I was doing the particle physics video, the asterisk that said that these orders of magnitude are wrong, it was obvious that they're wrong, because if you think how big an electron is and you think how big a quark is, like, it was obvious that the order of magnitude was all over the place. But if I didn't leave the asterisk in there, some nerd in the comment would be like, oh, actually, quarks, 99.9% of an atom is empty space. And I would just lose. I would need to kill a person then. So I'm saving a life.
And saving yourself a viewer.
Yeah. I'm saving my viewers. I will never know why.
So what you're saying is I should stop trying to read those asterisks.
That's just
No, you just
clarify if there is something, if there is a far-fetched analogy. If you understand the analogy, asterisk won't help you, because asterisk is just, well, yeah. When I say the more Lagrangian there is, if you understand it, if you understand the equation, which is the integral of the integral of the Lagrangian, then you know that what this effectively means is the Lagrangian adding over the integral at each coordinates. So you know what more Lagrangian means. But if you can't read this, and if you think more Lagrangian means, I don't fucking know, a unit of Lagrange, then it could be misleading. The higher the path action. So, the path like this has a high action because it's long and high. So this integral ends up being high. A path like this is lower because it's shorter and lower. I'm pretending to not see many of my messages. Ash, can you blame him? This is effectively what's an action. This is effectively.
I was on full screen. I did not see the chat.
Wait,
I
there are,
don't know.
I
There's
forgot
what?
that the people are watching this stream.
Skew issue. Ash, I do not want to solve your integral because I don't want to spend like 2 days solving an integral. I'm fine.
Hey, could you remind me real quick, what is the motivation for going, like, what's the motivation from going from the action to the Euler-Lagrange? Because right here, I can see that you started with, are you using this character to represent a change?
Yeah.
Oh,
So these deltas are just a small change in the
okay, so
action.
so effectively, what changes the action? That's what motivates it, this entire derivation.
It's technically just a derivative, except now I don't really care about what's under the
Okay, so
how the
the action
brackets.
changes scripture.
Is the small delta always a small change?
What? Which data?
Hmm?
What?
Is the small delta is the small delta always a small change?
Which data?
Delta.
Oh, delta.
Yeah.
No, you can also just use it for delta. It depends on your interpretation. But in this case, yes, it's a small change. It's a first order change because we're ignoring all second orders.
Because I've seen people who like use big data for big changes and small data
They
for
don't use
small
big
change,
data for
and I
big changes. They use big data for visible changes.
This is all interpretation. I use my deltas, like the triangles, also for small changes because I like to upset people.
but okay, but that's not that one random person's habit was like using big data for bigger changes, small data for smaller changes, but like
When you're doing calculus, yes, it means that. When you're not doing calculus, it could mean anything.
all right.
The Euler-Lagrange equations is just derivative equals to 0. That's what that symbol means. Except now you're a functional, so now you need to care about both your x and v.
Yeah, there we go, video scripted.
Nice.
I was supposed
Easy.
to work on fix it. What a tangent. How many is this? 21. This minus this 65.
Ash, I do not like that integral. But it doesn't look that hard. It's just 1 over 1 minus cosine. And cosine over 1 minus cosine. That transformation. 1 over 1 minus cosine, that should be an easy one. The cosine over 1 minus cosine, that might be an identity. Cosine of ax divided by 1 plus cosine of x. Oh, that's minus. I mean, the worst case, you're around 0, right? Just Taylor expand both of them and take some order, and that, like, you can solve every integral with Taylor expansions.
I can feel myself crashing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end the stream now. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm gonna come back and I'm going to spend the rest of my night manically working on Fix It.
Hell yeah. On stream?
No, I'm crashing too much for a stream, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Alright, well,
Alright.
scripted at least, that's something.
Enjoy your walkie.
I will not. And for now, that'll be it. Thank you everyone so much for watching and have a great day.